interesting that it was always the left leg she would kick out.
Yeah.
So-
She is in heat, we found out too. You called that right.
Yeah, see, I was kind of wondering about that. I was kind of thinking sometimes they get a little touchy ovary, you know, she may be gonna ovulate on the left side. So that's a girl thing. But I think just continued the way you started yesterday. I didn't see anything that I thought you could do better. I thought you did a good job with lots of transitions and just, you know, trying to let go a little bit and testing her to see if she's going to stay a little bit there behind your hand and more under your seat. If she comes up a little bit when you give, as long as she stays through her back, I think that's okay. I don't think that's a bad thing. That's a girl. You just a little bit change the flexion a little bit more often. Just kind of make sure that she's, yeah, you do that. And she's not just holding herself in her neck either. Good girl. Good girl. Yeah, her little tail swinging though. You know, it's a really nice trot. It was a really pretty picture when you went through the short end. It was really bending her hind legs and bringing them under. So your decision now in the next couple of weeks, Megan, is going to be to slowly start to ask for a little bit more from the trot. Okay, and you know, just cautiously in a way that you still are able to keep the submission and the feeling that, you know, she's not running away from you, that you're actually creating the impulsion. But I think she's a lot stronger, so I think she should be able to have a little bit more impulsion without creating too much difficulty with the submission. Good girl. Well, that was a good canter depart to the right, and you could see a little tweak in her ears when you put the left leg on, but nothing like yesterday, so. Oops. As I speak.
Yeah.
Yep, but exactly. You just keep the movement going even though she broke. Good girl. And then with your canter, the canter stride, no problem. You don't want more impulsion there. You would just think a little bit about letting the neck come up and having just a little bit more of an uphill balance, but without really changing too much, I don't think, other than the neck. I think if the neck comes up, she's already going to be a little bit uphill, a little more collected. Because the canter looks pretty good. Now just careful you're not too strong with your left leg as an inside leg. I think sometimes she thinks a little bit about a flying change. She may feel your left leg a little stronger than your right leg, okay? Good. Relax your left leg. Good. Good. Just keep thinking about relaxing your left leg every couple strides. Almost just think about you're going to kind of take it off. And then if she breaks a little bit, was that your idea or hers?
Hers.
Okay. So a little bit figuring out the exact amount you need to keep the cantering without making her think it's a change. Good. 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 Your leg looked good there. It looked very breathable. You know, I could see it had a little bit of movement in it, and it was a little bit softer. I think sometimes your position is so quiet that you don't realize that it's so quiet and kind of a little strong, and you've got to make it a little bit with the lower leg anyway. Don't change anything with anything else, but a little bit with the lower leg. That's the active leg. You want to think a little bit about making it a little breathable, so you use it and then you have that moment you kind of take it off. Okay. So then really, you know, your plan is to say, okay, I need to think about adding a little bit more impulsion in the trot without pushing her overboard again. And the canter is perfect. All I'm going to do is let the neck come up and just think about allowing the stride. I don't think you have to do much, because she naturally has a lovely canter. But just let the neck come up and see if she'll stay submissive. I think, you know, she's so much stronger, I don't think she has to be so low all the time. So I think we can start experimenting a little bit with that now. And kind of think of this, that deep and round is going to be your like safety net. You know, warm her up there, as you want to make sure you can get that connection. And then let's play a little bit, bring her up a little bit in the trot. Have just maybe a little more trot. And if we get into trouble, we can always put her back down. Okay? So this is sort of our safety blanket place. But now we have to kind of, we can't stay here forever. It looks, I mean, for 2 days it's been really consistent. So I think probably at home, you've got it too. So now it's time to change it. And that's always the thing. It's like, dang it. Now I'm going to change it. So let's take the frame first. Let's make sure we can keep that same trot you just had with a little bit higher neck. And then we'll add a little bit more energy. Yeah, pretty good, girl. Okay, doesn't look too much of a problem. A little bit bigger trot, just a little. That's it. Now, a little bit of left bend in the neck sometimes. Yep, that's the only piece I think you need to really concentrate on a bit there, is getting that pull a little bit more over to the left. So get that right side of the neck a little longer, left side of the neck a little shorter. Good. Good. Very pretty. Good girl. I think that's probably big enough for a while.
Okay.
Oh, stop it, you little redhead. That's a girl. Just do a couple leg yields, couple half passes, some circles, change things up. Good. Not too much, not too much. I think what you have to be careful of a little bit is that if you get too much, then the hind legs are not strong enough to stay under the body.
Yes.
So I think up there by the mirrors, you were a little bit on the hairy edge.
Yep.
Good girl. Good girl. That's it. There. Perfect. No more than that, maybe. Now think about your left bend. Think about that neck a little bit. Get that right side stretched a little. So when you're going left, you're going to bend the neck more than you think you need to. Yeah. Yeah. Good. 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 And then like you'll back over to the right. Good. Yeah, do a lot of those little exercises.
Okay.
Half pass leg yield, half pass leg yield, just especially to the left. You keep her a little bit more honest off of your left leg without feeling like you're going to increase the left leg. It's just you're going to get her a little more attentive. Good. Good, and maybe in the leg yield, which is the easier one, there you should maybe take the left rein and bend and give the neck a bit. So you create a little bit more bending when you go back to your half pass. Good, now leg yield. And we'll bend the neck and give, bend and give, good. Now half pass. And now you're just kind of nice there, that's it. But see how then the half pass has more bend?
Yeah.
That's good. Okay, let's do the same thing to the right. Now the bend is a lot easier. Easy. Careful. You don't want those hind legs to go out behind because then she pushes herself down into her shoulders. And then that's where she grabs the bit and gets mad. I think she blames you when she gets out of balance. Good. Go ahead, do a little leg heel just for the heck of it. Good job. Good. One more right half pass with the leg yield, and then from the top, let's do a little change of hand and half pass. Good. So maybe from the rail to the quarter line, Megan, half pass, then change over, then half pass back to the rail. Good. Good. And maybe make sure she's just really up off your left leg before you go sideways to the left.
Okay.
Now really push her to the outside rein as you change. Almost have a stride or two thinking shoulder in left straight ahead before you go sideways, okay? I think for her, that's a good idea. Now think a little shoulder in left. Up, straight, and now go sideways. Good. And I think sometimes when you do this exercise, you should do the shoulder in the other way and not go into the second half pass.
Okay.
Because she's so smart, she'll start taking over. Okay, let her have a little walk break. And I think with the zigzags, depending on the horse I was riding, there were many times with like the really smart horses, I would do half pass to shoulder in, stay in shoulder in for a while, finally go half. In a couple weeks, you'd be like, you know what? 90% of the time, we're good. No fits, no tantrums. Now I'll see what happens if I add a little more. Okay? And you'll feel if she either gets out of balance,
Yeah.
and if she does, then she's not strong enough.
Yeah.
And that's really the key, that you want to have a little more impulsion with the hind leg still carrying some weight. She gets so angry when she gets out of balance. Even though it's her fault a little sometimes when she takes over, she blames you, so.
Come here.
She says, yes, I do. Okay, so let's try the canter. Now just think about your left leg being a little breathable no matter whether it's the inside or the outside. And we'll try it with the neck up a little bit. Good. Okay, now let's bring the neck up a little bit once you've got the canter. Good. Yep, don't worry about it. Good. Not too worried about the left rein right now. The canter, just a little bit there. She's on the outside. You can touch and let go a little bit of the left. Good. A little bit more collection up into that right rein. Just think of, can I bring her back a little more on the hind leg? Touch and let go of the left rein. Good. Good. Bring her back a little bit on the right. Good. Maybe shorten the reins just a bit. Good girl, good girl. There, that's right there. Right there, Megan, good. That's it. Good. Don't let her get too low on the neck. Good, circle again. Good, bring her back a little bit uphill on that right rein, touch and give the left. Yeah, that's okay. Yes, good, there we go. There we go, outside flexion. That neck a little straighter, shorten your reins, bring that neck up a little bit. Uh-huh. That's it, pat her with your left hand, say you're just fine, good. Super. Super. Good, watch that. Yeah, you see when she kind of dives and twists there in the contact, try to get that a little quicker. Uh-huh. Good. Good. That's okay, pat her. Good girl. Okay, let her have a little walk break. Oh, that was pretty. Good job. Good job. It's really not that hard for you. You don't have to have so much drama over this. It's just what I do. Good girl. Now don't bend the neck too much to the right. Okay? That's it. Let's stay on the circle. Be a little bit easier, I think. No problem. Just that's where she's going to push herself a little bit left. Uh-huh. I know, but you can't do that. I know. It's just awful, isn't it? Yes, it is. How dare she put that leg on you? Super draws where they can. Yeah, that's right. Good. Now, start to shorten that left rein a little. Touch and give that right rein. Yes, I know. Right hand stays right. Not too much right leg. Just kind of open the door a little bit on the right side. A little bit. Yeah. That girl. Good. Not too much bend in the neck though. You kind of feel like you lead the shoulders a little to the right, but without bending the neck. Good. That's okay. Mm-hmm. Good. Really take your weight over to the right. Exaggerate a little bit the weight. Yeah, that's fine. Keep it over there. Good. 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 I'm really liking now the balance. You really have her upright now, Megan. That's good. Yeah. There. Watch that left drifting a little bit. There you go. Good. Good. Perfect there, perfect there, perfect there. That's it. That's perfect. That's what we want. Good. Keep her there on that right. Keep her there. Don't let her drift left. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, she's really wanting to push left. You're doing a good job. Good. Now let's bring her back when it's your idea this time. She hears my voice. Not too much bend in the neck. Good. Good girl. Yeah, off that left leg a little bit, straighten the neck. That's right. You want to feel it really straight up through that left side into that left rein. Not that deviation of like a V pushed through the left shoulder. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah. So you've got to keep that neck straight, even a little counterflex idea, so that you get that, that left shoulder's got to come a little more to the right. That's it. That's perfect. Okay, now see if you can do a little bit of canter like that. Good job. She's not going to be happy. It's okay. Girl, you can do it. You can do it. Come on. Try harder, girlfriend. Good job. Good, beautiful. When you see the video, you'll see how pretty the canter is.
Okay.
Even with a little bit of the drama of the hair flipping. Yeah. Good. Now bring her back. Good job. That's it. Let her have a little break. So, you know, this little bit of strengthening for this canter, the thing is, it's really more important that you have her sitting and taking the weight, even if you get a little bit of fussiness in the contact. Because when she's all happy and perfect in the contact, she's a little bit leaning left, you know? And so, okay, at the horse show, then you have to make that compromise and say, I've got to let her do that or we're not going to canter the whole way through the canter tour. But at home, when you're training, you don't want to make that compromise because then she does never get stronger on the hind leg, you know? And you can see in the video, you'll be like, oh, yeah, you know, she's fussy and flinging her head around, but the canter still looks really good. And, you know, that's what I mean about her being athletic.
Yeah.
Most horses who would shake their head that much couldn't keep
canter.
canter.
And a little less picking, too.
Yes.
So let's leave the canter with that. I don't want to do any changes. The changes are fine. Today I wanted to think more a little bit about the balance. And then let's go back and do a little bit of trot both ways. And just start to play a little bit with that pendulum. Okay, try to keep the neck up. And then just say, okay, here's our trot, our happy trot. Let's try to go a little bit smaller, a little bit bigger, okay? See how she deals with it. Hopefully she'll be like, oh, this is really fun.
Exactly.
Keep a little bit of shoulder forward there. Watch she doesn't push the butt left. Good, and now smaller. Find the smallest trot you can have. Yeah, good, while she's still trotting. Good, and then a little bigger. And you just want to stay in the smaller trot and the biggest trot for 3 or 4 steps, okay? You don't want to push your luck with that. Good, and then back to the small. Good, good, good. Oh, good girl. Start to go bigger. Good job. Watch that left drifting. And a little bigger. Good. And bring her back. Super. Back to those small steps. Good. Forward. Good. And back. When you do the bigger steps, I don't want you to think about lengthening the frame. She's not quite strong enough to lengthen that much. She's getting a little flat in the longer ones. So eventually we'll be able to lengthen the neck, but she'll stay more uphill. Right now when you lengthen the frame in the longer stride, she just gets a little flat on the forehand. So think uphill forward. Yes, and back. And bigger. Good. That's it. And back. Good job. And bigger. Good job, girl. And back. That one looked like the best one.
Yeah.
Had a lot of,
Okay.
yeah, it was really pretty. Smaller. Here you want to make her hind legs a little quicker if you can. Yeah, and bigger. Think uphill. Little shoulder forward. Good. Uphill. Uphill. Good. More thinking about the bigger strides, sort of just squeezing her very softly. There, that's right. Good. The smaller steps, you would go ahead and do a little bit of an active, like you want the tempo to be a little quicker. The bigger steps, think about just sort of squeezing like you'd squeeze toothpaste onto your toothbrush. Good. A little outside flexion, watch she's not pushing left. Good. No problem. That's lovely. Good, patter, walk, good. So, you know the bigger trot there that you're getting toward the end, that's eventually going to be your collected trot. Yeah. But, you know, again, the pendulum will get her stronger. So, I'm not sure how much you can do at the canter because she still has that attitude at the canter. For now, I would say in the canter, just try to, we're going to have 2 canters. We're going to have the warm-up canter, which is a little more the working canter with the lower neck. And then we're going to have a little more the collected canter with a little bit the higher neck. Yeah. And then just try to go there once. She's a little happier here, up here. Then same idea, a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller, bigger, smaller. Okay? But again, making sure that when you ask her to go a little bigger in the canter, you're thinking about keeping everything uphill and not letting go of the reins so, you know, she flattens. But I think for her, once you get these little pieces, and you've got the pieces for the movements, because you're changing things a lot, you're not being boring. So that's good mentally for her. And then once you have the piece of also being able to add the pendulum to that, and you can start to put those two pieces together, you're going to keep her little mind really busy. You know? And so she'll be thinking a little bit more and there'll be a lot less drama.
Would be good.
Good job. See, you're getting trained in spite of yourself.